In hospitality, it's all about creating those incredible guest moments, right? But behind the scenes, there's always the challenge of profitability. Today, we're going to look at how the smartest F&B operations are turning every single transaction into powerful business intelligence. We're talking about transforming a simple cash register into a true profit engine.
Hello and welcome. As a hotel AI expert who spent a lot of time in modern hotel operations, I'm truly pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. We're about to dive into practical, real-world knowledge that you can use to solve the challenges and seize the opportunities in our industry. So first up, let's dive into a problem that, honestly, every single hotel faces, whether they realize it or not. I'm talking about that slow, quiet, and visible leak of revenue that happens right at the front lines of your restaurant and bar.
And that's a really big question, isn't it? Picture this. It's a packed Friday night, the kitchen is humming, guests are happy, and orders are flying. In all that chaos, where are the financial weak spots? Well, more often than not, the answer is hiding in plain sight, right there at the point of sale system.
And what's crazy is just how simple these methods can be. A server voids a check after a guest has already paid in cash and then just pockets the money. Or maybe an item gets transferred to a different table, a table that never actually gets closed out. And of course, there are the classic free drinks for my friends, which get masked as comps, hiding unauthorized consumption. Each one is just a small cut, but believe me, they add up to a significant financial bleed.
And really, this gets to the heart of the problem. A great floor manager is focused on the guests, right? On service quality, on supporting their team. They simply don't have the bandwidth to manually cross-reference every single transaction to spot these subtle, often intentional patterns. The human eye just can't keep up. It's almost impossible.
Okay, so if the human eye can't catch it all, what's the answer? Well, that brings us right into our next section. We need to leverage technology to act as our digital eye in the sky.
This is where platforms like Evero come into the picture. Think of it like a digital co-pilot for your existing POS system. It's not replacing anything, it's making what you already have much, much smarter. It just sits there, silently watching every single keystroke, every order, every payment, and every void, 24/7. It never gets tired and it never gets distracted.
Okay, this is where things get really cool. How on earth does an AI know the difference between an honest mistake and a red flag for potential theft? Well, it all comes down to finding patterns in the data.
Now, what's brilliant is that the system isn't accusing anyone. It doesn't make assumptions, it just establishes a baseline. It learns what normal looks like for your bar or your restaurant, the average number of voids per server, the average discounts, that kind of thing. Then, it simply looks for any behavior that stands out significantly from that baseline.
So take a look at this. It's a perfect example. Let's say the department average for voided transactions is about 2%, but the AI has flagged one server who has a void rate of 6%. That's 3 times the norm. Now, does this automatically mean theft? Of course not, but it is a huge statistical red flag that absolutely deserves a closer look. So what you get is this really clear 4-step process for the manager. First, the AI is always monitoring. Second, it automatically flags those statistical outliers. Third, it highlights the really high-risk stuff, like a void that happens right after a cash payment. And the most important part, the manager isn't walking in based on a gut feeling. They are empowered with specific, clear, data-backed evidence to have a productive conversation. But here's what gets really exciting. This kind of technology isn't just about playing defense and stopping losses. It's not just about plugging leaks, it's about going on offense and actively driving more profit. See, the very same data that helps you spot problems can also be used to uncover massive opportunities. So on one side, you've got risk management, catching fraud, stopping cash skimming. But on the other, you have revenue growth, analyzing what's working best and figuring out how to do more of it. So let's talk about upselling for a second. The AI can instantly tell you which servers are the best at suggesting high-margin items. The appetizers, the premium wines. And it's not just luck, it's technique. Management can then see exactly what these top performers are doing and saying and use those insights to train the entire team. That's how you lift the average check size for the entire operation.
And we can go even deeper than that, into something called item affinity. The system might discover a really powerful pairing. For example, it might find that guests who order the ribeye steak are incredibly likely to also buy a specific Cabernet Sauvignon, but only when it's offered. This isn't just a hunch anymore, it's a statistical fact. So now you can train your whole team to make that specific suggestion and watch your high-margin wine sales climb.
All right, so let's tie all of this together. What does all this actually mean for the future of how we manage in the hospitality industry?
And this is really the big takeaway here. The point-of-sale system is no longer just a dumb terminal for taking orders and processing payments. Once you layer it with AI, it becomes the true heart of your operation, a dynamic engine that is simultaneously protecting your revenue and powering your growth.
So I want to leave you with one final question to think about. As you go out into the industry and build your careers, always be asking this question of any operation you manage. Is your technology just a cash register, a simple tool for recording transactions, or is it an active, intelligent partner in driving your success? Because I promise you the answer to that question will define the future of profitable hospitality.